Okay, the godfather of AI, Geoffrey Hinton, has quit Google in order to tell you how bad AI is. Now, keep in mind, this guy actually helped build the first iterations of AI. And now he's standing on stage, basically in front of the entire world, saying that this is not a good idea. That we should actually take a step back and look at what we've been doing, because the development of AI is going way too fast to keep up. He thought that this was going to happen in a few decades, and then all of a sudden, what? Here it is. So I have written an article, and I figured I was going to just go through that to talk about this in a way where I can expand on different points that irks me. Because yesterday, as I saw the news, I saw like 5 hours ago, he quit, and he now started to say that this is a bad thing. Well, not really bad, but we should really consider what we're doing, because humans are known to be stupid. When it comes to everything in development, any innovation, all these things, we are stupid because we take profit first and then we care about whatever happens afterwards. Doesn't matter if the planet would, go to shit. Doesn't matter if everything would die. Doesn't matter. Anything doesn't matter. As long as the profit comes through the door. Because now it's too late. AI cannot stop. It cannot stop being developed because companies cannot afford it. Right now, everything else has been put on pause. Everything has stopped because now AI is here. Now the one who has the most functional AI controls the world. Those are the words of Elon Musk. So, of course, all the big companies like Google, Microsoft, Baidu, Bing is Microsoft. All these different companies, and probably countless more, are now thinking about how they can be the best at AI. And somewhere along the line, one cannot help but just think that someone is going to fuck up. Someone is going to click a button that says, go online, or something, and then it's too late, because it thinks faster than you can hit space. I've tried. Like, when you pay for ChatGPT Plus, and you hit that freaking enter, the response are so quick that it's actually quite breathtaking and terrifying at the same time. It's like, how is this possible? And if you have the vast amount, the entire internet to play around with, being a logic-based AI that is not by any means done in development, how would that work out? You see, there's another fun fact about this, and this is not in the article. A few days ago, they passed a law. Or was it about to be passed? I'm not sure. There are so many laws right now being passed. This specific law stated that AI was not supposed to be permitted to launch nuclear weapons. Great, you might think. Now, I haven't gone too deep into this because it kind of seemed logical. But then I saw that has already been passed. Way before the launch of ChatGPT, this had been passed. So now that this is being, repassed, I guess, or resurfacing on the interwebs, so that it is a fresh seed for something to take into consideration. Who knows? Who knows? It's just, it seems kind of stupid when you have this kind of technology in this kind of phase to talk about that kind of thing online in that kind of context. But hey, who am I to say that is a bad idea? Let's see, we had a few things here. First of all, Geoffrey Hinton is a guy who has been working for 10 years at Google. He hadn't said anything now before he actually quit Google to come out and say what he means about AI. He doesn't say that Google has nefarious means or that Google is doing bad things. Of course, Google itself right now is like, oh, but we appreciate your 10 years of service, and we don't take that critique to account because we are honorable people who are just supposed to do this for the betterment of mankind. You can trust us. We don't have any listening devices in any homes in any part of the world. You can trust us. So let's go into why it's important to talk about AI the way we are, because by all means, don't get me wrong, I'm a super advocate for AI. But I'm also a realist. I know what happens if you have deep machine learning go havoc or go rampage. Actually, I don't know. Nobody knows. That's the problem. But we know that it is super potential. Like there is so much potential in AI that is kind of hard to wrap your head around it. But we have to be fucking careful. So let me give you a few examples. You can check out the article if you want to see videos and other articles about this. Link in the description. But there are schools in China, and they have been doing this for quite some time. You know, China has been on the AI front for quite some time. They have these nifty headbands that is blinking a specific light depending on where your mind is when you're having this headband on your face. And if you're distracted, it will tell you that you're distracted. Or not tell you, it will tell the teacher, and it will ping the monitor that the teacher is sitting with. So your brain activity is actually being sent to a monitoring device. That's one thing. And you can kind of, in the video, you also see the different graphs kind of going all over the place. That's kind of a domain that one would think is ours. That we own that domain of thoughts and emotions, right? We're going to get to that point as well. That it's bad. It could be potentially. Don't let's not get ahead of ourselves. The thing is, first of all, just having that AI monitoring headpiece on a student in that context, it's bad. But just the fact that the parents signed off on that is in itself a statement. And then we have the fact that if you yawn, the facial recognition in the cameras will pick that up, and you will, you're not supposed to yawn in school. So I don't know what happens if you do that in a Chinese school. That was very highlighted, the fact that they're picking up on yawning. And then you have chips in the uniforms telling the school at any given time where you are on the premises. Again, is that okay? I mean, that's just one example of what China is doing with this kind of technology. Then another China example in Shenzhen. I think that is the way you say it. And this has been going on for years. I think I saw 2018, not sure. You are being automatically fined if you are crossing a crosswalk without permission. If you're jaywalking now, in China, in Shenzhen, and probably a few other cities, you're not just getting a text fine. Like, your fine is being texted as you are committing this crime. Your face is also being picked up by facial recognition, and it is being presented on billboards and screens around the city to publicly shame you with name and address and parts of your social ID. Just, this guy or girl went over this crosswalk. This is the face. This is them doing it. Shame them. It's like, okay, I don't even know what to say about that. I think that is also quite invasive, but who am I to talk about those things? So the technology so far is pretty breathtaking, right? And we all know that the news pretty spineless and breathtaking as well. Like, the fact that the news are showing most of what they're showing without any consequence of what will happen because they showed it is baffling to me. The thing is, because of news, and I'm taking this up as a specific example because we all have probably seen the compilation of when a newsreader is talking about something and then they just keep adding and adding and adding other newsreaders on top of that, which just says the exact same thing down to the very word and tonality. And it's kind of creepy because it's literally as if there's reading from a script, and then that script has been handed down to all of the news stations. It's weird. But the thing is, on the news, this as well, for that matter, with AI, you don't know if I'm fake right now. You don't know if I'm deep fake right now. Now, that as well is something that you should check out the article for, because I think I have a video of that. I will add a video on that. Deepfake is a technology that can take your living face, like you're recording your live broadcast, whatever, and put another face on top of that, making it look identical to the other face. I could have been Donald Trump right now. And with other software like voice recognition and voice tampering software, modulators, and all that stuff, I could sound like Donald Trump as well. Live. Right now. And you wouldn't even know the difference. So you don't know what's real out there anymore. And there's pretty far, you have to go pretty far back in order for you to know that what you saw is real, a real human being. The messaging has probably been shit since the very beginning, but that's not the point. Everything that's going on online right now is going to be skyrocketing in terms of fakeness, in terms of how people are going to exploit this. I think I was called up earlier by a deepfake person. I don't know. This person called me on a video chat on WhatsApp. I never answer those. I answered this one for some reason. And the person I was talking to didn't talk to me. They just looked weird and they did weird things. I was like, that is technology beyond WhatsApp. So deepfake, you can't trust anything anymore. And I don't like that. That's why I keep emphasizing the fact that we need human connection. We need to focus more on self-worth and self-development and just the human aspect, the soul aspect of things, because things are getting out of hand, and it's getting out of hand quickly. On that, I don't want to scare the crap out of you. I don't want to say something that is going to give you the wrong impression of AI, because AI is, by any and all means, awesome. You can do things with it that is mind-boggling, but you can also do nefarious things. If you give $1 billion to an evil person, you're gonna have him do evil shit, or her. The same thing goes if you give $1 billion to a good person. They are probably gonna do good shit, right? Companies always want to go for the profit. So let's go in and I'm gonna read you an example, just right off the article, and you tell me in the comments what you think about this. Let's imagine you're walking down the street. Your phone's GPS system and various apps that want to know your location, like Tinder, are running on 5G, this powerful new wireless technology that penetrates all things. Because of the precise technology and the sensor in your Apple Watch, something happens. The AI in the cloud sends a song to a nearby restaurant that they have a deal with. And I'm talking about like a music deal, a license of some sort. As the song plays, you are reminded of a painful memory, maybe even subconsciously. As this happens, a TV or a digital billboard on a nearby bus stop lights up. It's about life insurance. Because you are currently feeling that painful emotion, thinking of that painful memory, which you shared on Facebook a few months ago, which is important, by the way, you feel the urge to call the number or visit the QR code with your AR Google glasses and buy that insurance. Do you see how easy it is to hack someone already, like today, right now? That is based on things that were written in 2018 by Noah Yuval Harari. Sorry, Noah, if I completely messed up your name. He wrote about the biometric sensors. Things like Google Watch or Apple Watch and the things that we are creating, which is measuring your biometric data, right? These are going to get more advanced. As they do, we don't know when we are going to have a camera in our TV. If we already do, who the fuck knows? Now we can create those pixel sized. The thing is, if you're watching something and you react to something, maybe your heart skips a beat when you see a specific scene or something on TV, you might not really notice that that is happening. But the sensor does. And the camera in your TV sees that reaction. It sees your pupils dilate. It sees anything that you don't really think about in how your body reacts to that little thing. That goes for music. That goes for visual inputs. That goes for anything. We react to certain things. Maybe you got a little bit horny during a kind of, on the fence kind of scene. If that is being picked up, all of a sudden you see that your ads are starting to look different. You are being fed new things in the algorithmic recommended list on any given platform. And all these different things are happening at the same time. You can't really understand why. It's almost like people are listening to you. See, we are already at a point where it seems like our phones are listening, and we know that they are. Just a few days ago, I saw this this video of a person who were recording themselves with an infrared camera on their Apple phone, or they were recording themselves while holding their iPhone. And you saw these flashes every 5 seconds. This was just after they had been told that the camera will actually take pictures of your face every 5 seconds. And you can see that on infrared. So they just checked that out. And it was a thing. So privacy and all that stuff, it's about to get changed. Because if you feel differently, depending on what you see or hear or interact with, smell, whatever it is, then your emotions can get hacked. I'm saying hacked. Those are the things that we thought that we had complete domain over. If anything happens that makes us think differently, let's say that you have a beautiful song, you love this song. The only thing in that song is that one note is off, and you hate that. Every time you listen to the song, you're grooving, and all of a sudden that note comes, and you get this, right? It takes you off the energy. The AI can pick up on that, and then they can actually fix it real time, so that the next time you listen to that, or as you're listening to that, that tone is gone. All of a sudden, there is something else that just ties everything together, and now it just feels awesome. And then when you're in that state, you can be, forced or fed, I don't know what word to use, different types of information that makes you think in a different way. It makes you think, do we have free will if this happens? Or is it just biochemical reactions to our surroundings? Because this is happening right now. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, AI is awesome, but it is a technology that you need to pay attention to. And by that, I also mean you need to pay attention to yourself. You need to really know and be self-aware of what you feel, what you think, and why you feel and think the way you do. Is that because of something you came up with, or is that something that just got introduced to you in your everyday life that you didn't really notice, but you did make an action? You did do something because of that. We are at that point where we need to start to focus. And also, this is even before we have started to talk about irrelevance and what would happen if you don't have a job anymore, because everything is automated and people don't have a purpose or anything to fill their days with. There's a lot that goes on. I also have this thing here. We are being monitored and controlled from the very moment that we are assigned our barcode. I mean, our personal identification number. From then on, there are vaccinations, and many of them are very good for us. Forms and templates that we have to abide by. If you're creative and energetic, we have ADHD. If we learn differently than the masses, we have ADD. If we say we're God, we're crazy. That is actually something that I have to create a video on. It's actually about the whole Christ consciousness within psychedelics, but more on that later. The thing is, stuff is happening now that is completely ruining the old systems that we used to live by. Education is, well, I can't speak for the entire world, but seeing from what is happening in the US, it's not really good. And here, my son is boring his ass through school right now. Like, he has no will, no drive to go to school at all, because when he goes there, everything is too simple for him, and he just can't keep up because he's bored out of his mind. And that is usually what happens to creative, smart kids, isn't it? You're being told to do something, follow the structure, be in the box, and then after a while, you're just going to burn out. And you're going to have this huge association to school that is not necessarily good. So something has to happen. We have to stop focusing on giving people jobs, or spend the first part of your life trying to become a person who is going to fill a box that is labeled that job. Focus on the self-worth and the unique abilities and the value that every individual can share with the world, and just focus on the fucking fulfillment. Being unique instead of being taught to follow the masses. Jesus Christ, you have cliques in school? You can see people following that one thing. Pokemons are over there. There is the Canada Goose Jackets. It's so weird. The pack mentality is unreal. But we've been taught to do that. through, mainstream media, social media, our parents, who the fuck knows? Everyone around us is being just teaching us until we break that pattern. And I think we're at that point where we have to break that pattern because now things are happening too fast. And I'm talking about AI again. So I have a big article on my website, link in the description. Check that out. But I think it's time for us to think differently because we have been doing things for so long that now we're blind to the fucked up system that we have just accepted. Even though the economy is failing, even though the whole materialistic gain is ruining our fucking planet, even though the mental health is on an all-time low, suicide rates up the wazoo, fucking kids down in the age of 15 being raided and having guns under their pillows. There's so much shit going on right now, and I'm just talking about my fucking little tiny city in the southern part of Norway. It's... And I haven't even started to talk about the management of the US. We have so much that we have to do. And I guess we just need to get our grips together. We have to get together. That's why we created Tribe. Tribe was supposed to be this place where people could come together, like-minded people, ambitious, creative freedom seekers who wanted to design life on their own terms, could come together, find accountability, resources, and knowledge to actually fulfill that dream. Now it has become something completely different. Not completely different, but with everything going on, we had to just shift everything because now it's like we all have a responsibility. I think that you need to learn what AI can do. You need to understand at least fundamental concepts of this thing because it's going to rule everything. Everything that can be run by an AI is probably going to be run by an AI because humans are lazy. We want more time. The more time we can get, the more things we automate, the more the AI is going to control things. And if we don't know how that works, if we don't have self-awareness and we don't know how our emotions and thoughts, how our own accountability and ownership over our own lives work, how in the fuck is this going to end out? And up and out? People today and I am a victim of this myself, we doubt ourselves every step of the way. But most of us shun away from fear. We don't want to face the fear. We don't want to go into the uncomfortable zone of growth. We don't want to do something that is, going to demand something that is challenging more than what we have during our everyday life, which is challenging enough. But I think that we have to fucking take a stand. I think, personally, if people follow their dreams, if they go for what they are fueled by, if they go by what really drives them, their passions, and their unique capabilities and values, if they go and follow that, then what they can create and how they can be compensated in this world, which is materialistic, but people are still looking for those soft skills, those, not even soft skills. I mean, if you're knitting, if you're decorating, if you're drawing, if you're painting, if you're creating sculptures, if you're doing whatever, if you're sharing knowledge, experience, insights, there are countless ways to share your value in this world. You went through a journey. You survived that journey. If it was traumatic, if it was challenging, even better, because you know things that most people don't. If most people did that, then most people would affect those people that are remaining. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be able to live their own lives if they're comfortable in living an everyday 9-to-5 kind of life. No worries. But the more people who follow their passion, the more people are going to be sustained by their own skills. They're not held hostage by a government or an employer, so they can focus on their own self-actualization. When that happens, they are able to think and create and do things that most people are not able to do. And the more people that does that, the more value is being created in the world, the more people are going to be set free, and the more harmony, I guess, and happiness is going to happen. Because, and hear me out, I think this is a very ambitious thing, but I think that if you follow that path, there are certain things, milestones, similarities that happens on that journey. And hopefully that kind of inspires you to join the fight. You know, the light against darkness, the love against materialistic corporations. I don't know. I have no idea. I feel something is there. I think that it's a good way to think. And I see that a lot of people who has that same experience, who's just gone out there on their own journey, has seen the same thing. So I'm just trying to say what I'm seeing from my perspective. Could be I'm wrong, but at least you tried. At least you find some happiness. At least there was an adventure. Then if it didn't work, if you didn't follow your dreams and were completely fulfilled by that, go ahead and do anything that you want. You should be doing that anyway. And if you're not able to do anything that you want right now, then you should pursue that thing. You should pursue that dream. I'm way too passionate about these things. But I think it's so fucking important, especially now. Because if AI is getting released on a world that is sleeping, the mayhem. Yeah, there's too much to think about when it comes to that. In the article, I posted a quote that I love. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. Morpheus from the Matrix. Because that's the thing. If you haven't experienced these things, if you haven't tried the things, if you haven't seen the other side, it's almost impossible for me to tell you that there is something there. You have to take the first step. You have to go out of your way to do something that is different than what you have done so far. Because if you haven't experienced the success that you see in others, you will feel like it's not possible for you. If you haven't experienced true love, then you might think that it doesn't exist. So if you haven't experienced true freedom, listening to someone talking about it is going to be probably offensive because you think that it's about attacking you. But no, we know that it's so hard. It's so fucking hard to step out of that zone, to step out of that comfort bubble, to do something that is important and to liberate yourself. It takes pain. It takes fucking immense amount of discipline. Actually, I've said this so many times. If I knew what personal development had in store, I would probably not go as hard at it as I did when I started. Same goes for spiritual growth. Because now things are happening in my life that I would rather not have happen. As I've said in previous videos, I'm currently homeless. My car is starting to make these weird sounds. The financial bit in my life has been pretty rocky the last few months, and my entire relationship went to shit. Not that everything happened at once. Now things are looking to get back on track, but it was intense. I have videos of myself just breaking down because I couldn't take it. Well, I did because I'm sitting here right now, but sometimes it's hard. And the thing that I have seen help the most is when you have a tribe of people around you that care about you, that wants you to survive, that wants you to thrive, that wants to help you achieve your goals, get you to where you want to go, who love you. That's what tribe was about. Now we have to educate people on things that we didn't really consider before. But that's what all this is about. Coming together. And I've been doing this for so long. I know that for 1,000 people, maybe 1 or 2 people are actually going to do that. But if you're listening to this still, and if you haven't done anything, and if you're sitting there and you want something more in your life, then don't sit there and don't do anything about it. You have the power to do anything that you want, but you have to do. Period. If you don't do anything, you're not going to get anything. And that's the hardest part. On every step of that development, that is the hardest part. It is actually doing what you need to do in order to get what you want to have. That is a tough one, bro. And brodette. and all the others in between on the spectrum. Okay, I'm not going to rant anymore. That was 30 minutes. God damn, I was hoping for a 10 or maybe 5-minute long video. Sorry. Take care of your freaking family. I hope that if this didn't do anything else than get you into looking into AI, click the link. Click the link in the description below. If you're watching this on the blog, that's going to be weird. Just continue to read. But you know, I hope that you take this and start to just observe. Because pretty soon the world is going to be completely different. It is already completely different. But you have a choice to actually prepare for what's to come. It's so weird and fucking horrible that I'm sitting here with the emotions that I'm sitting with, saying what I'm saying. Because I never thought I was going to be able to feel this while I'm saying this. I actually didn't think it was going to happen in my lifetime. But it has. And right now, it's anyone's guess what's going to happen. But I think the future is bright. As long as we go at it with the mentality of creating the best world that we can. Take care of your freaking family. Love your face, and I will see you in the next one.